What's going on, guys? We are back. It is time to decide our World Rapid Chess Champions. We have tie breaks, and we have another round in the open section. I'm FIDE Master James Canty III here, joined by Grandmaster Amon Hamilton, and we got games, Amon. We have some tie breaks, and we got one more round.
That's right. The open section has entered its final round. Grandmaster Magnus Carlsen on 10 points is 1 full point clear of the entire field, and he's playing Anish Giri. And the irony of it all is, well, James, he only needs a draw. If you had to pick someone in the whole competition, well, Magnus against Giri on board number 1. We have Artemiev and Hans Niemann on 9 points, playing on boards 2 and 3 respectively. If they draw or win their games, a phenomenal chance of being on the podium as well. But we will be splitting our attention between the tiebreaker and that Magnus match to potentially clinch the World Rapid Championship.
If I had to pick one, yeah, Gary's going to be my boy for that one. Like, yeah, come on, Gary, you know what this is. Hey, let me off easy, boy. Let's do it, boss. Come on. And then we got Goryachkina versus Zhu there. Yeah, that one's going to be a battle. I mean, Zhu's very nice with the tactics, too. And then Goryachkina, she's just not good with everything. Very positional sense, I think, too. But last round here. Predictions, chat. What do you think is going to happen? Always want to hear from you guys. We're going to leave it up so you guys can see both the games. And we can see everything all at once.
And, I don't really have the... don't really have the strength nor desire to talk about it throughout the round. So I'll just say it is confirmed that Humpy has been, let's say, eliminated from the first place contention. So that is the case, that the FIDE rules for the women's section are only the top 2 in the event of maybe 3 or more players tie for first at the end. Only the top 2 actually contend for a potential tiebreak, which is why, despite having the same score as these ladies on your screen, Humpy Koneru is not part of this tiebreak format. So, Goryachkina and Zhu Jiner, which I'll say doesn't make any sense to me, are the 2 that have a chance for first place.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty annoying. Obviously, chat, you can say what you like in chat here. We are... what does it say? You're safe here, right? That's the meme or whatever. This is a safe house, chat. You can say what you like in chat. We won't tell anyone. But games are starting here.
All right. And our attention will be split between the tiebreak and Magnus's game. And that's because Magnus, with a draw, and it could be a draw that happens quicker than we think, will actually win the entire event. So our eyes will be glued. Now, the important thing to remember about the game on the left side of your screen here, this tiebreak, is it is 3+2. We've been covering rapid, right? These games have taken quite a while to develop, but this is Blitz. 3+2 is much faster as a time control. And so let's see what happens now as both games are underway.
Italian game in the first one with Goryachkina and Zhu. And then we got Magnus and Anish Giri with Sicilian. He's comfortable. I've learned one thing about Magnus. He does like the C3 Sicilian type stuff, especially when he wants a draw. He will go for that. So he's comfortable with the draw. Not to say that he just wants one, but he's comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he could have chosen E5, but chose the Sicilian, slightly more combative, that's for sure. And Magnus definitely choosing the C3 Sicilian on purpose. He's not trying to take too much risk. I think that much is clear. He doesn't need to overpress for a win here. A draw is perfectly sufficient. And meanwhile, Goryachkina and Zhu Jiner, the reason that this game is so important is it's also a 2-game mini match. So if we have 2 draws or perhaps a win apiece, then the tie will be settled by the Armageddon format with bidding. And should we get there, of course, we are going to remind everyone of the format. But for now, just know that there are 2 games that are going to be played 3 minutes, 2 second increment. And the first of those 2 games on the left side of your screen is underway right now.
And pull up chat, see what chat is talking about, because we're excited to watch. There will be some champions be crowned right now. Actually, so okay, yeah, I've experienced in both. I guess these openings more C3 Sicilian than Italian game, but so many ways that you can play.
Indeed, black
Fury
has the bishop
thinking.
pair, right? And Goryachkina and Zhu Jin'er. So a slight imbalance, but white, in exchange for that, has phenomenal control over the light squares in the center of the board on c4 and on d5, which you can see this last move, bishop d5.
Sort of a different type of Italian game, I should say, too, which is having this control over the d5 square like this. a4 has been played, usual stuff. Knight's already on e3, a little bit different. Quick eval bar jump there, too. a5. Wow, what a move. a5. Queen a4, I think, is the idea, trying to take a6 pawn.
Exactly right. Yeah, a5 is a nice one there. Meanwhile, Magnus's game is going very much in the direction of, let's say, charted territory. No big advantage here, but this position is thought to be very, very equal.
Let's see. Bishop b7, already great advantage looking like for Goryachkina. She's going to take a6, bring that bishop back around town, push the a pawn. Seems to be very
bishop
comfortable
b7,
already.
I think is actually the most significant advantage, right, of the two boards. White's just picking up the a6 pawn. Now, the reason that black does not immediately win the a5 pawn is because the bishop retreats after capturing on a6 to the b5 square and then hits the rook on e8. That's a crucial tempo, and it means that white is going to just be up not just a pawn, but an outside pass pawn as well.
Very strong. She always had a comfortable position and in good time, too. So remember, this is a blitz game here. So blitz on the left, rapid on the right. Sometimes it's crazy how,
And
like,
speaking of
blitz game determines a rapid championship.
Yeah, I guess they're saying, you know what? If you've played this many rapid games and we still don't have a winner, I think we got to change the format.
We got to change. We got to change the format, guys. Yeah, instead of this rook d8 move is sort of actually from Gary's course, believe it or not. If you guys, and that's why he's like he hasn't used any time. If you guys are a Najdorf players, yeah, from his Najdorf course that was dropped like 4 years ago. Gary, this rook d8 line is the standard move because if you go bishop e7 or moving the bishop, there's queen g4 and bishop h6 ideas. So rook d8 puts pressure on d4 first. The idea is now bishop e3. So then when bishop e7 happens, queen g4 doesn't hit the same anymore. So it's the idea here with rook d8, straight out of the Gary Najdorf course.
There you go. That's some good insight, intending to put pressure on d4 and then maybe continue with that bishop to e7 move, or in fact knight to d5 as well, to just bring a piece into the center. And I do see that Goryachkina has made what I would say is the most logical choice, bishop to b5, getting in the way of the discovered attack from the bishop on d7. Yes, allowing rook takes b5, and this will be played. However, this is all compensation, right? The knight on d4 is looking to capture on f3, and then the h3 pawn is hanging. So I think we'll see the queen stay on the board here with queen to h4, or perhaps queen g5, queen f6. If the queens get traded, it's very clear that white is winning. So obviously, black has to keep the queens on. With only 30 seconds, we see queen h4 definitely looks like the most tempting move.
Dang, that's a scary move, too. Oh, but king ran for the hills. She's like, I already had this plan. My king is going to tuck and roll over here on e2, and I'm going to go queen this a pawn.
Exactly. For that reason, I was almost wondering if queen f6 would have been good, but then king g2 secures everything. It seems like this white king was always going to make it to the e2 square. I definitely like the decision to play rook e6, rook f6, and try to fight for something. But realistically, Goryachkina has this one under control and well calculated out here.
Yeah, it's crazy how you castle just to be uncastled, but the king is very safe around the wall of pawns. Rook g1 with rook g3 ideas too. And again, this a pawn is unbothered. I mean, you are
I think
not
we can
stopping that
bring up
thing.
let's bring up the full cam here of Goryachkina if we can. I think that the game here, as Magnus is not even in his chair. In fact, nobody's in their chair in that game. Nobody wants to sit down. It seems that this one is going to wrap up.
Quite soon. Queen c8 with ideas of well, actually I wanted queen d8 and then play rook takes g7 and then rook g1. Nasty stuff. Queen f8. Pretty fun. But yeah, Goryachkina should be okay here. Wow. Oh yeah, pawn takes and c4. Bishop b5 check. No worries. Whoever sits loses, Van Pelt says.
All right, we really need this full cam here. There's a lot of action in Goryachkina's game. Here we go.
And there is increment on this one? Or no, there's no increment on this one, right? Am I?
Goryachkina has really turned this into a position that I think is now easy to convert because the rooks support this pawn. And yeah, this one is
Resi.
definitely over, and that's a handshake.
Congrats!
That's only game number one. Only game
Let's
number
go!
one.
Big win. Big win. Yeah, I think this is +2. Get that increment.
Really nice game there from Goryachkina. Start to finish, there was really no doubt. It was a very commanding victory with bishop b7 picking up the a-pawn and never looking back after that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the arbiter is explaining, maybe indicating perhaps like a couple minutes break as he looks at his watch. And obviously the ladies will return to play game number 2.
Okay, well now we need a board for this one here. I just see bishop e3, queen f3 did happen on this board with bishop e7. Queen g4, of course, was going to have. Obviously, you can castle through that, but following the course and Gary thinking, contemplating. I don't remember what to do with this. No, of course, ended after bishop e3 with a line here. But yeah, of course, there's pressure on c6, rook a to d1 type ideas, knight e4 around the c5. Having the ISO pawn, as Magnus does, requires me to play more actively. So definitely like rook a to d1, knight e4, even rerouting the bishop back to d3 to try to play some stuff on that way, or rook to c1. But let's see what Giri comes up with.
Yeah, bishop e3 is solid. Everything is nice and defended here. There's the pin on the knight on c6. And also, at some point, you can consider capturing on c6. The one thing about Magnus is he's not really known as a player that, there is this thought that you shouldn't play too much for a draw if that's the result that you need, because you end up kind of making worse decisions and maybe